Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for PICA week number 2. If you haven't seen a team builder and you're interested in that, just click on the link in the description and you should be good to go. So, without any further, this is Leo. Leo ended up beating an opponent that I never managed to beat, which is Jose from coach of Seattle Seeders. He did it in a tournament format. I played Jose also in tournament format, and that wasn't necessarily very pretty. So, however, looking at his draft, he has two main weaknesses. He does not like, looking at this team, he doesn't like electric types, which I didn't bring, so I got bring on my behalf, and also fairy types, and there is a bunch of fairy coverage on this team. Jellicent, Dazzling Gleam, Togekiss, Dazzling Gleam, Jirachi, Play Rough. So, we're just gonna get the show in a row, right? And just see what happens. I lead with Tangrove because Tangrove covered all my bases. It deals well with the Garchomp. It deals well with Scrafty. Okay-ish with Guzzlord. Masquerain, meh, who's worried about a Masquerain. Tapu Fini especially. So, he leads with Tapu Fini, so he switched out immediately as I go for a knockoff right here. So I get rid of the Volcanion's Assault Vest. I was very much afraid of it being Specs, but okay, he just decided to bring an Assault Vest just to be able to switch out moves. So I go in my Togekiss, which is my hard counter to the Scrafty, and he reveals the Sub-Zero Slammer. That is just very painful. Unfortunately, Togekiss, the beast that it is, lives that hit and just retaliates with the Dazzling Gleam and just straight up kills him. So that was good. So Togekiss getting his first kill. His Cmon user is gone, his setup sweeper is gone. He goes into Volcanion, and here I'm just gonna go into my dedicated counter, which happens to be Jellicent. So Jellicent gonna take the Sludge Wave like a champion. Unfortunately, does get the. No, he doesn't get a poison. That happens a bit later on, then I guess. So Jellicent in here, just being ready to just fire off some stab moves. I was debating on clicking Dazzling Gleam here. I could do that now. However, that wouldn't make any sense because, well, I really need Jellicent for this Volcanion. Otherwise, every single time Volcanion comes in, it gets a kill, and we don't want that. So I'm forced to switch out here, and I'm just gonna go out into my Muck, which is Assault Vest, because I very much expected this thing to be special. Turns out to be it's physical. So you caught me with the pants down there. So here I decided to go in my Togekiss. I just basically double. And here I really want to roost off the damage. So I roost here. This Garchomp is not afraid of me apparently because, well, he Stealth Rocks. And what I do here is I attack again. Maybe I should have just roosted. I probably should have just roosted there just to scout for damage. Because now Togekiss, which is my defogger, I can no longer get rid of these rocks. So that's a problem. But in the game, I didn't necessarily see it as a problem. So what I should have done there is just stayed in with Togekiss. Maybe I was faster, depending. Because if this thing is max HP, then Togekiss is faster. I could have gone off the defog, rocks were gone. A great scenario for me. Togekiss would have probably, yeah, definitely died to the Sludge Wave. So, but what I do here is I sack my Togekiss by switching out and go into my dedicated counter, which is Jellicent. This was straight up a bad play. This was not a good play. I should have stayed in with Togekiss, tried to get out of the defog, or maybe even a roost. Probably defog. So, I go into Jellicent, which is dedicated switch, and I'm just going to fire off a Dazzling Gleam here because, well, I predict the Guzzlord, and that would have 2-hit KO'd from the amount of range that it's currently at. But he goes into Masquerain right here. I'm just going to recover because I really need Jellicent. I really need Jellicent in this game. He gives Masquerain, and you know what? I'm not afraid of Masquerain. I'm just going to taunt you, but it turned out to be faster. I didn't check speed tiers for Masquerain. Turns out to be reasonably fast, and I was not. I was just generally not afraid of Masquerain. And then he reveals Sticky Wet, right? I did not know that Masquerain got Sticky Wet because I never played PU, and I didn't look up Masquerain. So Usually I say if you don't prep for lower tier mons, then you deserve to lose. But it was a masquerade, for fuck's sake. Okay, here we go. So, I Shadow Ball the incoming Volcanion, which is odd, because why would you send in a Volcanion? But Jellicent, you're gonna stand strong like a trooper, just gonna fire off another Shadow Ball. Fortunately, doesn't get the drop here, but you know, a 1% chance. Meh. So, I go into Togekiss, I just sack that because I don't want anything to necessarily take that hit, and I really wanted to save switch in a Muck right here because he doesn't have any switches for my Adamant Gunk Shot anymore. I think it's Adamant. But, he decides to go into Masquerain. I go for Gunk Shot here. He gets off the Intimidate, that's fine, that still does over half. And here he roosts, but now here we knock off, because, well, I may predict the switch into something else, and, well, knock off just didn't miss. That also played a factor. A Gunk Shot get a bit of a low roll, but fortunately, I didn't know what fourth move, you can already tell what's on screen. I didn't know what fourth move to put on Muck, because I had knock off, I think I had Pursuit, and then it was Gunk Shot. And I just didn't know, so I may as well slap on some priority just to get the Poison Touch. Add a chance. So here he goes into his Volcanion. I'm just gonna go into my dedicated switch, right? Because I may need Muck for Tapu Fini. So going to Jelly. Jelly takes 20% from the Earth Power. That is absolutely pathetic. And here Jellicent can just recover off the damage as he just goes into his Tapu Fini. My switch hit for Tapu Fini is Tangrowth. For some reason, I brought Giga Drain Tangrowth on a Calm Minding Tapu Fini. So that just straight up is bad. And he gets a special attack drop on the first go. So, X thus far, not necessarily in my favor. But you know what? I go for knockoff. I knock off his Gesto Berry, so it turns out to be like 3 attack rest. I'm just gonna stay and get off damage because I have Focus Blast on this thing just for the Guzzlord, but I see that does absolutely nothing. So I go into my Muck, which is kind of the only thing I want to take a hit right now. I go for Crunch. Well, he goes for Crunch, and then he follows it up with Dragon Claw. It's kind of obvious move. Here, I go into Infernape. And at this point, he hadn't revealed his Tapu Fini set, but I was assuming it was Dual Stab, Defog, and then like Taunt or something. Maybe even Rest. So at this point, as soon as this thing dies, in my head, as soon as this thing dies, right here, he has nothing to kill my Jellicent anymore, and I'm just going to straight up win this game. So he wants to preserve this, right? So Guzzlord can put in a bunch of work against the remainder of my team. So what I predict is a switch into the Tapu Fini, as Infernape usually shouldn't be able to touch that. So what I do is I click the Iron Fist boost it, Thunder Punch, but he stays in. So had I clicked Close Combat there, Guzzlord would have been gone, and then Jellicent would have just won. Jellicent plus Rachi would have just won me this game. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. He goes for Dragon Claw, takes out my Infernape, and I lose to a fucking Guzzlord. That's very upsetting. But I go into the Jirachi right here, so I click Flare of, Guzzlord goes down, and here the only win con I've left is actually this Jirachi and Jellicent. So he goes into his Volcanion. I figure, you know what, yeah, Jellicent, right? So because you can't touch that. Fire Blast does 19.4%. Once again, absolutely pathetic. And he is just gonna go out into his Tapu Fini. So, how do I lose this game? At this point, I'm still sitting pretty. I have a Tangrowth, I have a Jirachi, his Tapu Fini reasonably weak. Power Whip would have been nice here because that would have done more damage, especially as soon as he starts setting up Calm Minds. But he goes for a Moonblast, gets a special attack drop again. I go for knockoff so I get rid of his residual damage, but so he gets a low roll here, but he gets another special attack drop. So that's just really bad, and at the end of the game, you'll see why. Giga Drain comes in, another Giga Drain. He sets another Calm Mind, so he'll do more damage. And here I figure, you know what? He's just gonna set up a bunch, right? So what I should do is just go out into my Jirachi and start spamming Iron Head and flinch this fuck to death. By fuck I meant top of feeding, not Leo. Leo is a buddy, even though. Well. So I go into Jirachi here. What he does is he reveals Surf. So Jirachi's really low right now, and oh damn it. Go to turn, what is it, 30? No, that's the painful turn. So there we go. So he reveals Surf here. And what I need is a flinch. And I get it. What I need is one more flinch and I win. And I don't get it. So had I just sacked my Tangrowth there, then Jirachi would have come in, would have been able to take one hit. All I needed then was one flinch on 3 goes. Which is very likely to happen. So, I go back into Tangrowth. He just straight up kills me with Moonblast. That's very much unfortunate. And now I have to go into Jellicent. And Jellicent is I'm going to lift this one hit, goes for Shadow Ball, and this is where the second special attack drop, or like either or, right? Had he not gotten one of those 2 special attack drop, Finny would have been dead here. I would have been in range, or I have to check how much Earth Power does, but I'm very much convinced that I would have lived. Earth Power to Jellicent is 20.4, so if that was a low roll, I may have had a high roll, but had he not gotten one of the 2 special attack drops, then this would have been enough to kill it, or with the additional damage. So Feeny would have been dead by now. But that all doesn't happen, and now I just die. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the game. That is very much unfortunate, and we're currently sitting at 1-1. So I really need to step up my game for next, because there were a bunch of misplays here. Admittedly, hacks also helped Leo a bit, but the main problem here were the plays I made. Had I just gone for the safe close combat with the Infernape, had I just not switched into Rashi there, that was the biggest misplay, I think. I still stand by the Infernape play, because, well, I didn't know that this was Calm Mind, and I still think that he could have potentially lost 1v1 versus Jellicent, because I may have had Toxic. I don't recall, this was about 7 weeks ago, but 6 weeks ago. So had I just not switched in Jirachi and just sacked Tangrowth there, then Jirachi would have probably been able to come in, force this thing out with Iron Head. I just need to get one flinch for then, and well, it's Jirachi, so it's gonna get its flinch. And yeah, all in all, I just really choked this game away. And I'm really looking forward to just step it up next week. You guys are not gonna know this, but I'm going to upload these in a row right now. I'm just going to record all of these games, and I'm just going to throw them all out day by day, really. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.